We celebrate this exemplified man, a soldier, a gentleman, a patriot, with unwavering dedication to the service of our dear country. He ran his race and finished his course.
Armed officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, I offer my deepest condolences. Also, I urge you to stay focused and steadfast in your duty, honoring Lagbaja's legacy by continuing the mission he held so dearly.
From his early days as a young officer to his ascension to the esteemed office of the Chief of Army Staff, General Lagbaja consistently demonstrated a rare blend of intellect, bravery, and humanity. He understood the complexities of modern warfare and the need for innovation in our strategies. Yet, he never lost sight of the human element, the men and women who serve under the flag and the citizens whose freedom they defend.
I worked closely with him. He was more than I could have hoped for. He was one of my best appointments. Lieutenant General Lagbaja embodied the finest ideas.
Life in times of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. It was on the 23rd of June 2023 when President Bola Tinubu appointed late Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja as the 23rd Chief of Army Staff, where he served for 505 days, making his appointment shortly. The early year in office of the late Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja as the Chief of Army Staff gave assurance and renewed hope in the ability of the Nigerian Army to stamp out all forms of criminality in the country and protect it against external aggression.
Everybody is your friend, and even the people that are your friends can become your enemy in the next minute. So whoever is carrying a military-grade weapon or any weapon at all, you must recover those weapons from them. Is that clear? Yes, sir!
The late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, in his early days as the #1 man in the Nigerian Army, ensured that 21 years after, the Nigerian Army mopped off unexploded bombs in Ikeja. The late Chief of Army Staff in Lagos disclosed that 2,055 unexploded explosive ordnance were recovered from the 2002 bomb blast site in the Ikeja cantonment, Lagos, at the end of the clearance operation tagged Exercise Clean Sweep. His early year in office was indeed a time to commend General Lagbaja for his purposeful leadership and determination in combating insurgency and criminality in the country. Indeed, it was a service of unquantifiable sacrifice in blood and treasure, and one can confidently say without equivocation that within this year, the Army had shown commitment, determination, and focus. The appointment of General Lagbaja as the 23rd Chief of Army Staff was greeted with lots of commendations by many across the country. Lagbaja without a doubt wiped out terrorism, banditry, vandalism, and militancy in Nigeria. The Chief of Army Staff always leads in the front, right in the battlefield. He was not the kind of soldier who sat in the comfort of his office giving commands to troops. General Lagbaja led the battle against the enemies right in the theater of war. He was referred to as a no-nonsense soldier, a professional soldier by training in appearance, words and actions. Having participated in several operations across the country, the Chief of Army Staff came in with a clear-headed philosophy to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving the Nigerian Army constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment. With this philosophy, the late Chief of Army Staff set out to confront the insecurity that has devastated the country for over 2 decades and stretched the Nigerian Army and other security agencies to the limit of their capabilities. His operational philosophy rests on 3 cardinal pillars: leadership, operational effectiveness, and sound administration. This insecurity ranges from the attacks of ISWAP and Boko Haram bandits, IPOB, in addition to the militant activities that have hindered the nation's crude oil output, the perennial herders and farmers clashes, kidnapping, and other forms of criminality in the country. Thus, the Nigerian Army needed to be forward-thinking and progressive in training, strategy, and sophistication to confront this criminality in such a dynamic environment. General Lagbaja noted that never in recent history is the requirement for proactive, adaptive, and inclusive leadership more needed than Nigeria's security environment of today. The Nigerian Army therefore needed determined leadership, building on the breakthroughs recorded by the predecessors. The Chief of Army Staff has spectacularly demonstrated so much understanding of the current security challenges in the country and preempts the enemy's next moves. He effectively understands the importance of collaboration with sister agencies and other security agencies. Also, late General Lagbaja's robust strategy and clear vision brought the activities of ISWAP, Boko Haram, to their knees, and this has resulted in the killing and arrest of notorious Boko Haram commanders, their informants, and foot soldiers, with several operational camps busted and destroyed. General Taoreed Lagbaja insisted that the troops involved in operations across the country needed training and retraining to rejuvenate their fighting spirit. He insisted the training exposed them to modern warfare and the use of newly acquired equipment. As such, the Army continued to review its tactics, techniques, and procedures. Lagbaja considered the welfare of the troops a topmost priority. He emphasized that these would boost their morale and ultimately enhance operational effectiveness. He has introduced initiatives such as the affordable home ownership option for all soldiers, which is aimed at elevating the hardship that soldiers face in securing personal accommodation following their years of service. Through the Post-Service Housing Development Limited, 5% of the scheme in each estate is for allocation to soldiers with operational-related disabilities. He introduced the Nigerian Army Welfare Loan in April to improve the well-being of the Nigerian soldier. Under Lagbaja, the Army has reinvigorated its complimentary welfare flights for troops in the Northeast to facilitate travels for them during leaves and passes. The 1 year in office of General Lagbaja as the Chief of Army Staff had given assurance and renewed hope in the ability of the Nigerian Army to stamp out all forms of criminality in the country and protect it against external aggression. The Chief of Army Staff has always stated that under his watch, all Nigerian Army's personnel must remain professional, law-abiding, and loyal to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as they discharge their constitutional responsibilities. Within the Chief of Army Staff 1 year in office, the Army has purchased over 200 gun trucks, thousands of personal protective equipment, over 100 mines-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, and several other sophisticated equipment awaiting arrival into the country in the shortest possible time. The Army, which had nurtured the desire to have an aviation wing since 1984, has purchased aircraft to be used for logistics surveillance, training and casualty evacuation, among others, in the first 1 year of General Lagbaja as Chief of Army Staff. Significant successes have been recorded in the fight against oil theft, oil bunkering, and pipeline vandalism in the oil-producing Niger Delta region. And the activities of these criminals have reduced the nation's crude oil production. Another disturbing security situation was the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN, both of which have killed many, destroyed properties worth millions of naira, and crippled socio-economic activities in the southeast. However, on assumption of office, General Lagbaja declared the infamous sit-at-home order of these groups over and enforced this through Operation Odoka, leading to the restoration of sanity and the abolishment of the sit-at-home order of these non-state actors. Total sanity will be achieved in due course. In September 2023, he announced that the federal government had approved the acquisition of 12 MD-530F COAS attack helicopters to strengthen the Army's capabilities. 2 Bell UH-1H helicopters arrived in Nigeria in June 2024, with the remaining 10 attack helicopters expected to follow soon. According to Lagbaja, this strategic procurement would substantially enhance the Army's operational capacity in tackling the insecurity challenges facing the nation. Another significant project initiated under his leadership was the Smart Soldier Initiative. This program is designed to leverage cutting-edge technology and artificial intelligence to enhance the Army's operational capabilities in combating terrorists, bandits, and other non-state actors. The initiative would also help reduce the risk of soldiers on the front lines. The implementation of the transformative project was underway when he passed on, leaving legacy of progress in modernizing military operations. During his tenure, the Nigerian Army made significant strides in the ongoing fight against terrorism. Under his leadership, the Army was credited with the elimination of over 300 terrorist commanders, while many older militants surrendered to government forces. Moreover, the Army's efforts under Lagbaja's command contributed substantially to the crackdown on crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. These operations led to the recovery of considerable quantities of stolen crude oil and helped safeguard the country's oil infrastructure, thereby supporting economic stability. And now the life and career of the late Lagbaja. Lagbaja was born on February 28, 1968 in Ilobu, Irepodun local government area of Osun State, Nigeria. He spent his early years in Osogbo, where he attended St. Charles Grammar School and the local authority Teachers College. 1987. Lagbaja was admitted into the Nigerian Defence Academy as part of the 39th regular course. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Nigerian Infantry Corps on September 19, 1992. From 1992 to 1995, Mr. Lagbaja served as a platoon commander with the 93 Battalion, and from 1995 to 2001, he was a platoon commander for the 72 Special Forces Battalion. He earned a bachelor's degree in geography from the Nigerian Defence Academy in 2001 and later pursued a master's degree in strategic studies at the U.S. Army War College. Between 2001 and 2004, Lagbaja served as an instructor at the Nigerian Defence Academy. Following this, he worked as a Grade 2 staff officer in charge of peacekeeping at the Army Headquarters, Department of Army Training and Operations. He was then appointed as a directing staff at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, a role he held from 2006 to 2009. May the gentle soul of the late Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja rest on in paradise.